Hey, yo, man, thank you. First of all, I'm gonna start with salutations and gratefulness. I really appreciate y'all doing this. I appreciate y'all, first of all, doing the record, because yeah, y'all made it what it is. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, I'm gonna explain. Like I was just saying, my little fan club, if you will, is called the Honeycomb Gang. They've really been showing me love and support, and they had some questions about the project, and so I decided to put together some BTS, content for them and for them only. So on behalf of myself and the Honeycomb Gang, I want to say thank you for doing this right now. Thank you for being here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fan Ran and Radio B.
I appreciate that.
Word. So we're gonna start like this, one at a time. Just tell the people who you are, where you from, and what you do.
My name's Fan Ran, originally from Petersburg, now living in Richmond for the last 23 years, and managing partner over at Gritty City Records, also a producer, also obviously an MC as well.
I'm Radio B, originally Bronx, New York, but I definitely been in Richmond, Virginia, good majority of my life. Hip hop artist, platform builder, fashion designer, some other things.
Straight up. Real quick, I'm just gonna jump in to say how I met you, gentlemen. I met Radio first, of course, long time ago at Versus. My homegirl Lorna, may she rest in peace. Lorna, may she rest in peace, used to started this open mic, the longest running open mic situation in the city, going on 22 years now. And Radio used to come in and just murder shit. Yeah, at the time I was helping Lorna formulate the band, and when we first met, I met him from behind a keyboard. This dude just came up and rocked, and then later on, I moved away and would come back, and one of the most consistent things was Radio B, Radio Blitz to be specific. Used to pop up in there and just murder shit. So. And he from the South Side. One of my favorite lines in his rhymes was from the South Side of motherfucking RIC. I'm probably the loudest one in any room when that record's going. So yeah. And then Fan Ran, I met more recently. It's funny. Noah O, our partner Noah O. We all know Noah. Solid cat, Charged Up Entertainment. He was shooting a video, and I was at the video shoot. And this brother Fan Ran was at the video shooting. We standing next to each other the whole time, unbeknownst to one another. And then something came up where I had to MD a session where he was performing. And lo and behold, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's the homie that was at the video shoot. And I just fell in love with his energy, number one, and his style, his production style and his rhyme style is real gritty. It's real street. You know what I mean? That's the type of hip hop that I go to first. I got to tell people all the time, Prodigy, rest in peace, was my favorite rapper. Because he don't really rap, he just talk that shit to you. And so I kind of get those same type of vibes from Fan Ran. So the combination of Fan Ran and Radio B for me represents my favorite types of hip hop. Radio gonna hit you with some bars. He gonna bar you up. Fan Ran gonna punch you in the face with some ill ass street shit. Those two styles of hip hop are my favorite. So it was a no brainer that I called these two gentlemen to be on D.R.I.L.Y, Dear Richmond, I love you. So. Without further ado, a couple questions, man. Starting with Radio B, since you started the record off, tell the people a little bit about your experience doing this record and how it happened. If you can remember the recap and all that, just go for it.
I remember you hitting me up. You sent the record. It had the hook on it already. And I'm a huge Richmond pride, what I'm saying, type of guy. I do the Richmond Zone clothing and all of that. So like, people just know me for that. So it's like a Dear Richmond, I Love You record, obviously is like right up my alley. The beats you know, soulful. And we was overdue anyway. So
All over.
I don't even know if I knew that Fan Ran was on the record when I got on the record. I don't know that. I don't think so. Did you tell me Fan Ran was on the record?
I don't think I did say anything. I just said at the time,
Yeah,
I was just putting it together. Yep, you're right. I didn't even mention Fan Ran was on the record. You're right. You're right.
and that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Fan Ran is my guy. So once that was the case, you know, it was a shoe in for real.
Straight up. Now the verse, you mentioned a couple things. Shako Bottom, you mentioned, I mean, it was so Richmond. Matter of fact, you mentioned the Richmond's own apparel that you created and now sell. In fact, one of the bars is why I put your name on them sweaters. Talk to us about the creation of the Richmond's own and some of your other fashion efforts, fashion endeavors, right?
Richmond's own was like one of my first like endeavors into like creating clothes, and it was really just at the time, we think this is like 2017. There were RVA shirts and things like that, but there wasn't really anything like on a Richmond pride level. Like there weren't Richmond shirts, there weren't Richmond t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no Richmond nothing as far as like clothing was concerned, and the vibe wasn't even on that then. Like people being prideful of Richmond was like turning a corner, but that wasn't the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I first made the shirts, it was literally to try to invoke that feeling from people. Like when they would see somebody in the shirt, I would want them to see like, yo, he got Richmond, Virginia up and down his arms, on his front, on his back. You know what I'm saying? Plain black and white. It say Richmond's own, like he let Richmond claim him, like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thought process behind like putting that shirt together, was for it to have that kind of like very bold but subtle, you know, classic flair to it. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted it to create a conversation around people being prideful and repping Richmond, because that's, to me, that's where when everybody say there's like the crab barrel mentality or whatever, it comes from a lack of pride, and that pride comes from never being taught that where you come from is of value. Feel me? Like we don't have a sports team, we don't have a bunch of like celebrities or people that come from here that people are like, yo, that's Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't have that thing that makes people champion where they're from, it kind of makes them, it's like a lack of hope with it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to create a situation where I just wanted to push the narrative. I knew other people were also trying to push that narrative for changing how people looked at Richmond. You know, the art scene was flourishing. I knew the music scene was flourishing. The food scene was flourishing at the time. And I'm like, yo, we got to pay attention to this and you know, and be prideful for it. So like that was the thought process behind the shirts. And I mean, there's a lot of Richmond shirts now.
Hey man, I was in Colorado, and I think I hit you up. I was living in Colorado at the time when I saw you had released that, and I was like, "Hey, yo, I gotta get one." And they sold out really, really quick. I have mine now, but I very rarely wear it in the city. For me, it's a badge of honor to rock outside of the city. Kind of like the impotence of this record. Like I rep Richmond when I'm outside of Richmond. For me, anybody who knows me inside of the city, there's no need for me to Richmond you to death while I'm here. So for me, I wanted to do something, and I like to continue to do things that represent where I'm from when I'm outside. So shout out to you, man, for creating that clothing and for your verse, because it helped me do exactly those two things. Helped me to show my pride, as you mentioned, for my city, outside of my city, in the circles that I'm in most often that may not know anything about Richmond. you know, may not know anything about our history, may not know anything about the culture and the wealth of artistic people and talented people that we have here. So I want to say right now, shout out to you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate being a part of it.
Now, the Godwater sidewalk.
The Godwater sidewalk.
Come on, man. Come on. See, it was so the thing I like about your both verses, really, radio hit you with the classic, okay, this is what Richmond is, this is the history, this is the heart. And I feel like it was really, for lack of a better term to describe it was happy. It was the joy, it was the hope. And then you followed up with, yo, it's gritty, don't come fucking around, you might get your head took off. I love that because that's the duality of our city. Talk to me a little bit about your verse and your offering to the song D.R.I.L.Y.
Yeah, I wasn't, I can't remember if I even listened to Radio's verse when you sent it over, but I probably didn't because I kind of wanted to have my own take on it, uninfluenced by what he do, because I knew he was going to murder it. That's what he do.
Yes.
But I needed to keep my mind clear and like really reach in my bag and see how I could like represent what my experiences and also just like observations were, especially working in a restaurant scene for so long before I went full-time music. And just I really just started thinking about like the different aspects of like what I encountered, you know what I mean? Like in working in a restaurant and hanging in like places like Sidewalk and everything quite frequently, especially in my 20s and 30s. Like I just think about like Sidewalks type of place where you could just see anybody, you know what I mean? You could see, you know, you could see anybody from any hood. Also, you could see the oldest money person you ever seen in your life. So that's where the Godwater sidewalk came from. Like Godwater is probably like one of the most well-known, oldest, you know, money families there is in the city. And they got their name over a bunch of buildings. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was a dope line. And that's what I kind of felt like. I had spent so much time in Sidewalk and places like that. I almost felt like I was old money in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a feeling. So that's where that came from. But just the overall verse, though, it's just I really tried to cover everything I seen in there, even the Juan Condi line. You know what I mean? Juan Condi was the type of cat that been known to frequent, you know, late night haunts and things like that. You know what I mean? So
shout out Condi.
You know, I just was really trying to represent my experience, like all the little funny, like kind of out of the way things I had seen. You know what I mean? Like just from my own personal perspective, but still talk that shit at the same time. You know?
Straight up. Straight up. You did a hell of a job, man. Like for me, I don't think I could have had two better cats to bring to fruition the idea that I had. Like Radio said, the hook. I did the production, did the track, and the hook just came to me. It felt, when I finished the track, it just felt like Richmond. It felt like South Side, North Side, East End, West End, downtown, Shacklebot. It felt like the cobblestone, and it just felt Richmond to me. So I laid the verse, and then I was thinking, you know what? I knew that this project eventually was going to reach the masses. I knew that I was associated with, of course, Raheem Devon was executive producer. And, you know, we were talking to some big labels as far as distribution. So in my mind, I knew that this project was going to reach people. And then it hit me, yo, this record needs to be on there. So I was super excited when we got to the process of A&Ring the album, and the A&R said, yo, this record needs to be first. I'm like, what? Like, y'all want this to be first? Because in my mind, I wanted it on there. I didn't care where it fit. I just wanted it there. But for them to say they wanted it first, and their reasoning, they wanted it first because they said, yo, this song is the energy we get when we talk to you, when we're around you. We get, yeah, we know you make R&B music and the smooth stuff and all that, but your personality is what we hear on this record. And we feel like this will give the people, the listeners, a good introduction to you and what they're about to hear next. So I was super, super excited. I think I hit Radio up first. Like, hey, yo, these people want to make this song first on the job. And so like, now I got to ask a question. Because Radio just recently, we just had verses with Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child. And as a guest, we had a few other people who are on Back to Love. Talk to me a little bit about the experience from your point of view, being a Richmond artist who has done things on a national level. What does it feel like to have a record where you're talking about your home, your town, your city, your culture being associated with such a mainstream group of individuals, if you will? Talk to me a little bit how that feels.
You know, I'm just very grateful. You know what I'm saying? Just to be in that space, and it's a testament to, you know, your talents. It's a testament to Richmond artists' talents. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that, you know, it's where, you know, honestly, it's like, it's where we belong, right? But it just don't be happening, right? So like, it just felt like, it don't, for me, it don't ever feel like, I'll never feel like I'm out of place among like great artists. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care who I'm in a room with. You know what I'm saying? You can put me in a room. Like obviously, you know, you gonna feel, but when it come to the music, when it come to actually doing it, I don't think I ever feel out of place. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel out of place, but it's such an honor though. It's like, you know what I mean? It's still surreal in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, yo, when you watching verses and you like, yo, 3 separate acts.
Word.
3 separate acts. You know what I'm saying? Came up on the stage during verses that everybody know, and I'm, you know, I'm on an album with them. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not something that happens where we come from. You know what I mean? And
although it should,
makes it even better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fan Ran, what's your thoughts, man? How did that the reach of this record? Talk to me a little bit about you know, your thoughts on that.
Man, I'm still getting used to it, man. You know what I mean? Just like I'm just trying to take it all in and take my time with it, because it's like radio said, it's like just the impact alone of that when you sit there and by yourself and think about it, it's just something that's like radio said, this town always had the talent, man. We've been building a cornerstone block by block. You know, radio's been a huge person that's contributed to that. Obviously, you as well, especially coming with this record and everything you've done before. So just to even be asked to add on to that, man, that right there, just to me, is the win alone, man. And then just to comprehend what we were saying earlier, like all them guys that, you know, we've been watching for years, Anthony Hamilton, music, all the cats that was in that room, just to even be a part of that legacy in just some small way. Man, I could hang my hat. That's something good I could tell my family. You know what I mean? Like a Fan Ran record only goes so far, but you know, like when you're associated with something like that, that's something that, you know, you can tell your family, your wife's family, or maybe they'll catch it and you can be like, hey man, this guy all right. You know, this guy all right.
Word. This, you know, man, that was my overall.
That's the way I feel about it. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be associated with them.
That was my goal, man. Like radio said, it's not that I ever felt
You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah, it's
Oh, hold on, let me make sure. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
You were, but you good now, I think.
Okay.
like you came back in.
I just wanted to it wasn't like radio said. I always felt like we deserved it. Like we deserved to. We had talent here beyond a D'Angelo or beyond a Skills who had transcended, even a Lonnie B, who transcended to the national stage. I've always felt like, you know, it's much more talent that belonged there. So in me doing this, it wasn't like one of radio's lines. I'm not asking for permission. Like I wasn't asking for permission for Richmond to be heard. It was like, yo, we need to be heard. So when I think I was hitting radio up, just messing around, like, yo, dog, we out here. It wasn't from a standpoint of, yo, wow. It was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I told them niggas, you know what I'm saying? So, bro, I still get excited, even though I fully expected this. I really, really did. And for me, it was like, yo, I wanted to bring my guys on who, not to be like a gatekeeper, but like a guardian. It's certain ones of us who I believe deserve it because of the work that we've done anyway. So to have you two guys a part of this, man, for me, it's like a dream. Like, You know, the other cats, oh yeah, the Raheems, the Hamiltons, the Eric Robesons, yeah, those my guys, but they don't know, like when radio references the floods in Shockoe Bottom, they don't know nothing about that. When you reference the Briley's, you know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about the Briley brothers. So like for y'all to be a part of this, man, bigger than you guys know, it makes my heart like just, I'm overjoyed and just fulfilled. And not to mention, it's one of the top records in terms of performance on the album. Like it started off streaming well. I think we up to close to 100,000 streams just off that one record. Man, come on, dog. Like that's pride.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yo, man, real quick, I want y'all to tell what's going on next. Of course, I know radio, you got RVA Rap Elite. I was just there at the last event you had a couple Sundays ago. Tell the people what you got coming up next, man, and where they can find you, where they can find your clothing, your music, your events. Hit them with all of it.
Yeah. We got another Rap Elite event coming up this coming Sunday. And you know, otherwise, you can definitely follow me on Instagram, Twitter at Radio Blitz. I got projects coming. I got new music coming. I got a EP that I actually released the same day.
Hey,
it's just a 3-track Blitz EP. I got a project with Fan Ran coming. We've been working on for a minute now called Dirt Under God's Nails. So I got some catching up to do on that. But that's coming as well this year. Yeah, man, it's a lot of things. You can check out my clothing line, Mama Joe's Collection. So it's mamajoecollection.com. It's for everybody, men, women, children, you know, definitely high fashion, streetwear. But yeah, that's about it. Well, so some other things, but we'll be here all day.
Tap in with you for the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
Fan Ran, what's poppin'? What's going on next with Fan Ran and the squad?
I got the Richmond gas cassette in stores right now with my homie and Day Fru. I got a new beat tape coming through Icy Palms Records based out of Chicago. That's called Archive Asylum. That'll be at the end of the first quarter. And got a lot of other things coming through Gritty, man. We probably coming 8-10 albums heavy this year. Right. I know Siggs at least got 4 or 5 in the tuck. So we gonna make it a heavy year to make up for the COVID, you know.
Where can they find you online and social media and all that?
Well, they can find it. You can find everything, and my social media is at FanRan Films, and you can find all my music and all my videos and everything, grittycityrecords.com and YouTube and all that. Everything, everywhere you look for music, I'm probably gonna pop up. You look hard enough.
Word. And people be ready for that deluxe coming in the late spring, early summer. We're gonna remix Drilly. We were talking about it a couple weeks ago before I had my little health scare. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna remix it and get some more Richmond talent on there. It's not enough to highlight my brothers. There's some more talent I think needs to be heard. I want to get as much Richmond talent and you know, all the spirits in there as we can. My goal is to get a representative from all 4 sides of the city for this remix and to put that on the deluxe. So, yo, this is just the first. This will be the first of this. Hopefully, man, this is the first of many times that I get to honor my city by putting my folks on the national stage along with me. This is definitely not the last time that folks gonna hear me with Fan Ran and with Radio B respectively and or together. I'm gonna keep repping Richmond everywhere I go. I ain't got no choice. Shout out to all of the crews in Richmond that's wanging. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Radio B, Fan Ran, Noah O. I shouldn't start naming because I'm gonna forget some, but you know what I'm saying? Nicholas F, you know what I mean? Michael Millions, the whole, everybody, straight like that. Once again, I want to say on behalf of myself and the Honeycomb Gang, thank you, 100 million times thank you to Fan Ran and Radio B for being a part of Drilly. Dear Richard, I love you. And this Zoom right here, this behind the scenes content, man. Thank you, gentlemen. Love y'all for this. Word.